Hello everyone, my name is David. Today we are going to take a look at another real story with you. These days, courier companies play an important role in all our lives. It seems like there's hardly a home where a courier hasn't rung the doorbell or knocked at the door at some point. Nowadays, it feels like the marketplace has moved right into our homes. Whether you need rice, lentils, oil, clothes, soap, electronics, shoes, slippers, sweets, just about anything, you can get it delivered to your doorstep. You just place the order and it gets delivered right to your doorstep. Courier companies have become a part of our lives. Today's story is about a courier boy working in one such company. It's about how one man uses his brain, gets tempted by greed through this courier company, and ends up committing a murder. After the murder, there are no clues, no leads, nothing. Yet, the police manage to catch the killer based on just one detail. The story is set in Bengaluru, about 194 kilometers away, in a place called Arasikere. In the same area of Arasikere, there used to be a boy named Hemant. Hemant studied up to graduation, but he dropped out before the final year. His father had passed away. He had a brother named Manja Nayak. He used to live with him and their mother in that same area of Bengaluru. After dropping out of college, he went to Bengaluru in search of a job. However, he couldn't settle there and returned to his hometown. After coming back, he tried various things and eventually started working for a courier company, the kind that delivers your packages to your doorstep. The company's name was E-Cart Logistics. Hemant's life was going fairly well. Then, on February 7th, one of Hemant's colleagues from E-Cart called Hemant's brother, Manja Nayak, and said that Hemant had come to the office that day, picked up the items for delivery and left. But since then, he hasn't returned, and now it's evening. His phone is also switched off. Now, when you work at a courier company as a delivery boy, your phone is very important because it tells you where to deliver the next order, how to contact the customer, and what their number is. But for the first time, his phone was switched off, so he said he was really worried and asked where he could be. Even Manja got worried for his brother. They searched for him here and there. This was on February 7th. They looked for him the whole night. When they couldn't find him by nightfall, on February 8th, 2023, Manja went to the police station and filed a report. He told the police that his younger brother, Hemant, who works at a courier company, left the office yesterday and has been missing since, and his phone is switched off. Usually, in such missing person cases, what the police often do is they thought he must have gone out somewhere of his own will, maybe out for a walk or hanging out with friends. Young people often hide things from their families, so maybe he left to hide something. They assumed he would return in a day or two, so while the police did file a missing person report, they didn't take it very seriously and didn't make much effort to look for him. Cases like this come to the station every day. So the police registered Hemant's missing report, but just sat on the assumption that he would return soon. He's a young guy. Where could he go? Days started passing, and when the family came asking, the police just kept saying, we're searching, but we haven't found him yet." About 8 days pass. The missing person report was filed on February 8th, and by February 16th, that date arrives. On February 16th, in the very city where Hemant used to live in Arasikere, an unclaimed body is suddenly found under a railway bridge. The police are informed about the body. First, the railway police recover the body and then they inform the local police. During the post-mortem, it is revealed that the person was killed with a knife. Additionally, there was an attempt to burn the body, which made the face completely unrecognizable. When the matter of burning the body came up and the stabbing with a knife was revealed, the case clearly turned into a murder. The local police then registered a case of murder and took possession of the body. When information about the body reached the police station, all nearby police stations were alerted to help identify it. The news also reached the police station where Hemant's missing persons report had been filed. One officer there said, "Let's go and check. Maybe it's him." So Hemant's brother, Manya, was called and brought in. He was taken to the morgue of a government hospital where he saw the body. Some clothes were still stuck to it, and from those clothes he identified that the body was indeed his brother Hemant's. He informed the police that it was his brother's body. Hemant had been murdered. The police, who hadn't even been seriously trying to search for him for the past 8 days, now realized he would never return. He was no longer in this world. For the first time, the police took the case seriously. They registered a case under Section 302 on murder and began a proper murder investigation. The first step was gathering all the information about Hemant from his brother and colleagues. Then they began analyzing his mobile phone's call data records as part of the investigation. After examining the call data, the police looked into where Hemant was reportedly last seen on February 7th when he went to deliver some items. Since then, his phone has been switched off. So the police started going through all the call detail records from February 7th. While investigating, they noticed the last number Hemant called. When they checked that number, the police called it. When they tried calling, the phone was switched off. When the police got involved, they pulled the call detail record of the number Hemant last called. They found out that the mobile number Hemant made his last call to had been switched off since February 7th, the same day Hemant went missing. This raised suspicions for the police. After that, the police team began checking what items were in the parcel and where the delivery was supposed to be made. When they checked further, they found that the last location he left for was an address in the same city. And the name written there was Hemant Dutta. Now, the police team reached the address where this courier boy was supposed to deliver the courier. When they went there, they searched for the apartment, but it turned out that this number didn't exist, and no one by that name lived there. Now the police wondered, since the last call was made, the phone has been switched off. The place where the last delivery was supposed to happen, the name written on that delivery was also fake. So what does this all mean? The police felt something was definitely wrong. Anyway, the police continued their investigation. Nearly 2 days had passed since the last contact. The body was found on February 16th. After the body was found, several police teams were assigned to the case. And police said, "Look around the town a little. If you see someone suspicious, catch them." This happens after big crimes. If the police have any doubt, they stop the vehicle, ask questions like, "Where are you coming from? Where are you going? What do you have with you?" This goes on often during policing, so the police were also told to be a little cautious, to question whoever seems suspicious, stop them, search them, check what they have with them. Just like that, on the 18th, a police patrol team was on duty on the road. The discovery of the body happened 2 days later on February 18th, 2023. At that time, the police team was patrolling when suddenly they noticed a young man coming from the opposite direction. He was walking very fast, and there was a somewhat heavy bag on his back. For some reason, the police noticed the way he was walking, looking around left and right, walking fast with quick steps. His entire body language, his movements, his speed, and the bag made them suspicious, as if he might be a thief or a robber. So, as he came closer, the police team stopped him. When police asked him where he was going and what he was doing, a look of nervousness would come over his face. The police asked, "What's with such heavy luggage? Open your bag." But he said, "I am just going out for a trip." The police thought if a person is going out, they usually pack clothes and other things. But when the police opened the bag, they found 4 pairs of slippers and 4 pairs of shoes. Good brand shoes, meaning 4 pairs of shoes and 4 pairs of slippers were recovered from the bag. Now, when the police saw this, they wondered why this guy was carrying 4 pairs of shoes and slippers. Police asked, but he can't give a satisfactory answer. Now, the police get suspicious. She says, "Come on, let's go to the police station." Then the police take that young man to the station. After bringing him there, they sit him down and start questioning him. Meanwhile, this news spreads to other police stations that a boy has been caught and is at the station. Meanwhile, another team investigating Hemant's murder is also working on the case, also know about a suspicious person. Meanwhile, during the investigation, it was found that on February 7th, when Hemant left his company for the last time to make a delivery, he was supposed to deliver to a person named Hemant Datta, and after that, he had another delivery to make. That delivery included a total of 2 items. Apart from this, when the delivery list for that day was checked to see what was supposed to be delivered, it was found that Hemant had to deliver 4 pairs of slippers, 4 pairs of shoes, and 1 second-hand iPhone that day. As soon as the police learned that Hemant had to deliver 4 pairs of shoes and slippers, by evening the police team got information that they had caught a suspect and were investigating him. Then police came to that police station and asked the guy, "What's your name?" He said, "My name is Hemant Datta." As soon as the police heard the name, they became alert because the last order that had to be delivered on February 7 was under the name Hemant Datta. The police then checked everything about him and found out that he really was Hemant Datta. Many things matched with Hemant Datta. The police traced the location of Hemant Datta's phone again to see where his phone was on February 7th, and they also checked the location of the other Hemant, the deceased, who was killed. It was found that both phones were at the same location, so many things matched. The police then took Hemant in for questioning and questioned him thoroughly. After detailed questioning, Hemant told his story. In this story, many details came out. Hemant Datta also used to work as a courier boy at a courier company. He lived with his mother. His father had passed away. He had one brother who lived separately. A few months ago, in November of last year, his phone got stolen. He was fond of iPhones and wanted to have one. He thought, "What should I do now?" So he ordered a second-hand iPhone from the same courier company he used to work for. Since he had worked there before, he knew a lot about how the company operated. He had left the job and was currently unemployed. He needed an iPhone because he had lost his previous one. He was determined to get one at any cost. One day he suddenly saw an ad, a second-hand iPhone for $45K. He booked it, thinking, "I'll manage to gather $45K in a few days." But coincidentally, by the delivery date, he couldn't arrange the money. The delivery was scheduled for February 7th. He had given his address under a fake name. That evening, Hemant, the delivery guy, reached his house. Hemant handed over the iPhone box. But the customer said, "No, open the box first." Because often people complain that the box contains a brick or a cheap phone instead of an iPhone. Hemant agreed. The customer offered him some water and said, "Would you like some water?" As Hemant started opening the iPhone box to show the contents, the customer got up to fetch the water. His mother wasn't at home that day. He goes into the kitchen, brings a heavy object, and hits Hemant on the head from behind. Covered in blood, Hemant collapses. Then he stabs him multiple times with a knife. After he is convinced that Hemant is dead, he drags the body to the bathroom and cleans up the blood. He then looks at the rest of the courier package he had to deliver. He had brought a large bag, the kind usually used for deliveries. Inside it were 4 pairs of slippers from a good brand. He slowly takes them out one by one and waits for nightfall. After cleaning everything up, he steps out. He buys a large sack, fearing that if the body remained there, he would be caught. He stuffs the body into the sack and waits for night. Then he buys kerosene oil. At night, he packs the body in the sack, carries it downstairs, places it on his scooter, and rides far from his neighborhood, near a deserted railway bridge. There, he pours kerosene over the sack and sets it on fire. After doing all this, he returns, switches off his phone, and disappears, because even after ordering the iPhone, he hadn't managed to arrange the remaining $45K. And he thought he probably wouldn't get the phone, but since the phone was being delivered, he decided that he wouldn't pay the courier boy. Whatever the payment method was, since it was a cash-on-delivery order, he refused to pay and ended up killing the courier boy just to get the phone for free. In this entire case, the police solved it using just his last order, last call, and the 4 pairs of shoes and slippers. That's how they caught the killer. Later, he said in court multiple times that it was his first crime and asked for leniency considering his age, which is 24. But the court rejected his bail every single time. Currently, he is still in judicial custody and in jail. So this was today's story. Thank you for joining us on this journey today. We hope you enjoyed the content and found it valuable.